In this video, we have a new destination, we have a different group of riders, and we have some different trails. As you can see, they're rougher than what we were originally on in the past videos. In the second part of this, there's another new destination that we went to. There's so many destinations, I can't tell you where this is at. I just know that this was on our way up to a different rescue mine shaft. A little bit rougher, a little more rutted up trail. It's interesting watching the difference between the ATV riders, the UTV riders, different UTV riders, and basically different side-by-sides, how they handle the terrain and stuff. I know this KRX in front of me is it's one of the better ones that I've seen out there. It's wide, and the state I'm in, you can't run them on the trails because of the width. And once again, my DJI mic 2 has failed this entire trip. It showed on the DJI Action 4, it actually showed that it was working, but nothing got recorded. And I checked the mic to see if it recorded to the mic, and it didn't do that either. So, I guess they just work when they want to. This set of hills right here, this is where there's 3 different paths to go up. I don't think we went to the right. We went down a ways, and I got confused on these hills. But down further from this one, there's another set of hills that goes up to the trail. And I think this trail, if you go up those hills, it'll connect into the other trails by that hill. I'm not sure. It's something next year that I'm going to spend a little more time at watching the maps and kind of going through and more or less saying where I'm at, and hopefully the mic works good next year. I got to try to figure that out. It's always neat to see, ride the trails, stuff that you haven't. There's so many trails out there, and to see different things all the time. I didn't stick around for the snow, of course, but you got your dry conditions, your wet conditions. Depends on what time of the year you go. This is in November, so yeah, you get in your November rains. But it's so interesting. And all the time that I was there, I followed a tour guide. So next year, I'm actually going to the northern part. There's 4 trail systems up there of the Hatfield McCoy. I'm going to ride those on my own and kind of go through and check out the areas and stuff. I don't know, as far as Rock House or anything that gets kind of rough, I'm not going to challenge myself. I really don't want to roll over or break anything going up the rocks and stuff like that, but some people like doing that, a lot of people don't. So there's the other set of hills. Now here there's 4 different hills to go up, and these are the ones we went up to get to the trail system that goes up on the top level. So it's not that far away from where the other 3 trails were to get to this point. I think you could go either way and get up to that trail system. I'm not sure. And in these videos, I'm basically, that's Shorn going up right now. That's a tour guide. And then these 2 guys, I am just videotaping to get for these people so they can see their ride I know I met up with two guys from Miami and three guys from Ocala, Florida, and then I met up with people from Ohio. I met up with people from West Virginia that were in the tour guide. Um, I met up with people from Pennsylvania. There's two guys that were from Pennsylvania that were riding with us. I also talked to a lot of people in the campground. I know there was a crew from North Carolina that had a school bus that was shortened. In the back of it, he could put two side by sides on the back of it, which was really interesting. They rented a cabin and stuff up there, but most, I think most of what that school bus, the way they had it designed, was to have people on board and get all the people up there. And then there was other trucks and trailers that had more UTVs, so they all grouped together. It was really interesting because their UTVs, they were using a diesel heater in the back to bring heat up into the cab of the UTV. I mean, for me, yeah, I'm from the northern, so when it got down to 19 degrees, it wasn't that bad for me because right now I'm dealing with down to 0 or -0 up here, and I'm outside doing stuff, and it's, 19 degrees up here is actually warm compared to 19 degrees. You get acclimated to the weather after a while. It takes a while, but you do. We stopped here at the Blue Water Tower, or the Blue Coal Separator. This is out by Coal Lake. So those hills that you climb up to go aren't that far away from the coal separator. And this area, I don't know which trail system I'm on right now. I'm with a tour guide. So next year I'll break it down and explain more of where I'm at. This goes off into some of the more, this is after the coal separator. I don't know what path or what trail this is either. I don't even know if it is a trail or if it's an outlaw trail. But it's pretty neat going through the trees here. I could see if this was in the summer and you hit the green, it'd be like a little tunnel going through here. All the trails out here are really interesting, and being with a tour guide gives you have someone that actually knows about the areas and explains different things, like the coal separator. It's not used anymore. Basically, I think that's on what he said, it was on private property, but that's how they pumped the coal up in there and separated coal from dirt or whatnot and produce the coal. And you see the coal silt out by Coal Lake, and then there's on other videos that I had, you can see the mounds of just unusable coal, I guess it is, or what gets washed out of the coal. It'd be interesting to see if it actually burned all the coal silt out there. On all the trails that I rode, you're riding through a lot of water, and the leaves from the trees fall into the water, the massive amount of leaves, but from what I'm told is the leaves rot in the water, and the stench that comes off of that water is just, I mean, it's almost worse than sewage. You go through the water, you know it. What I'm riding, I know I had a couple of people ask me if I was part of the Segway crew, but no, there was three guys from. I was interested in the Segways because I saw them on another channel, and it just looked like the Segways and the KRX seem like they go through just about anything. And I'm in a Honda Talon, a brand new 2024, modified, of course, and it's getting more modified because I was bottoming out quite a bit up here, so I went and picked up 33-inch tires, and I got the control arm kit for the front. I can't put a lift on it because I've already extended my front out as far as the axles don't go that far. The only other way I could do it is redo the framework up in the front of the Honda Talon and relocate my differential, extending the drive shaft, and be able to lift it. But I'm not into lifting it because I'm top heavy enough already. By the time you put a spare tire up there and your tools in the back and stuff like that, you get kind of top heavy. So I think just the 33s on there with the extended control arms in the front moves it like an inch and a half forward. That'll be enough to go through all this stuff. That's one of the things I also found out about this tour guide is if you hook up with a tour guide, you want to first note, kind of what you want to see, where you want to go, but you have to kind of give him a what you're capable of, what kind of trails you want to ride. Like I rode 6 days, and this is the last 6th day right here, and these guys were already, they told them that, oh, we want the rougher trails, we want to ride, the rougher stuff, the more complicated stuff. So this is where we got into. I went over here and I think I buried it. Yep. I took the deepest part of the puddle. Also covered my windshield so I couldn't see. So I'm trying to get everybody's attention to stop so I could wash off my windshield, but they just kept going. Eventually I just stopped and washed it off and caught back up to everybody. Bad part about having it, you can see all the steam coming off from the water going up into the radiator, but yeah, windshield gets covered. You can't see nothing, especially at night. You gotta stop and wash it off and clean it. And the Honda Talon headlights at night, we rode a couple night rides, and those Honda headlights are just not bright enough. I couldn't turn my top light on. I ended up angling it down so I could actually see in front of me. There is a group that I have totally lost all video from. I don't know how I did it, but It was four ATVs and a Can-Am four-door UTV. I have no idea what happened to the videos when I downloaded it to the hard drive. It must not have gone. I don't know, but I lost all their videos. In the second part of this video, we end up going to I didn't get the full scoop of it, but it's a bunch of baseball diamonds that really don't look like they've been used, but I don't know if they're used or not. It's like a sports center. This is where all that water is, like, smells really bad. That's another reason why next year I probably won't do a lot with the tour guide, because I want to. I mean, there's so many places here where you can take pictures and stuff, photography and video of. You're not seeing anything out the side, and some of the area is just so neat. If you come from a land of flat, like Iowa or Wisconsin or Illinois or somewhere out west, and you come up here, it's just so interesting to see. Now here I couldn't get up on that edge because it was so slippery, so I ended up just running. A couple times I ended up just running into the rut. But there's so much to see up here, and it's such a photographic area that I actually wanted to stop. But if you stop, then you get separated and everybody stopped. So next year I want to kind of do it on my own and just go out for the photography and the video. I think next year I'm going to be out there for, I'm hoping 2 months. Go up to the northern part for 2 months, or 1 month, and go down to the southern part for 1 month, and from there, my transmission blew out going through the mountains and stuff on my truck, so I'm getting that rebuilt, changing my camper situation, and I'm hoping to leave West Virginia and head down through North and South Carolina, down into Georgia, into Florida, meet up with the guys in Florida, and ride around the Ocala area and possibly down around the Miami area. And then eventually my plan is to head out to the Peace Trail in Arizona and ride that. And I'm going to ride that a little different than what everybody else rides it. This is one of them ruts that just could not stay up on that mound. I think if you were going to get your left tires up and you lost your right tires, you'd be stuck or roll over on the side. It's pretty deep. Doesn't look like it in the video, but when you're there, it's deep. It's another thing I notice with these trails is there's a lot of different trails that they end up in the same area, but it's all dependent on, like this is pretty rutted up. The other trail is probably pretty flat, but that all comes in the same area. And there's different things on different trails that you can go check out. I know I rode past the coke ovens so many times going down to the stores on the road. I was like, oh, I went back and looked at the maps and I'm like, oh, that's where the coke ovens are. I missed it totally. And the story on that, I don't know what the coke ovens were for. I'd have to look it up and Google it and check it out and see what it is. And you can't really Google it when you're out there because if you're on top of the mountains, you might get phone reception, but most of it, there's nothing up there. Yeah, this section right here was pretty rutted up, pretty washed out. Like I said, it's deeper than what it looks like on video. This is in the southern part of the trail system. This is down, I was at, well, this is Adventure Outfitters for the tour guide. And then I was at the Ashland Resort camping up in that area for 3 weeks. Should have had more riding in, but like I said, I was just following along with other people. First time out, so that's the first time I've been to West Virginia, first time in the mountain area riding a UTV. That's one of the things that I've come to realize on these trails is property owners. There's different property owners all the way through, and the trails, the ones that are marked, the property owners decided to take care of the trails so they get more people out, get more revenue out there. But like trails like this, I don't think they're, if they are outlaw trails, the whole thing is with the outlaw trails is those are trails that are just, I mean, it's not really outlaw, they're just trails that nobody's going to maintain. They all used to be outlaw trails before they started taking over. So now you have a group of outlaw trails throughout the whole thing that basically nobody levels out or anything like that, so they become all trenched like this. So that's what I got from it. It's not illegal to be on it, it's just they don't really want you there, but it's part of the outlaw trail system. It's also better that they don't take care of the trail system, because if they took care of the trail system, it was flat. It would be more like some of the trails I ride up north here, where basically you're riding gravel roads. It's all like logging roads and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know, riding flat roads all the time gets really boring. I'd rather have stuff like this that you can put your machine to the test and see if you can get through. Also, when you think about it, it's what the side by sides are designed to do. This is one of them rutted ones that you can slip into real easy. And it happens. Now, the one of those switchbacks, I actually had to back up and make the turn too because I think I took it wrong, but the inside of this one to wrap around was a little rougher than what the past ones were on previous videos. What I should have done is taken a right at the point I'm at, but yet I went up to where he was at, which trail becomes narrower, so you can't get the full swing around. I could have probably made it, but I just figured why not back up and go. Get the extended swing arms on, or the control arms on there in the front, and the 33s probably won't be making turns like that. This is another coal rescue mine shaft. This one's not as deep. And I'll leave it up to the video to explain. He kind of explains it as he's there. Like I said, there's one more video that I have of this group riding. I'll have that after, in a few days. I'll get that one set up.
You know, just when they had a major collapse or something, it was here, they could come in, open it up, start it, and boom, and they could get the people out. Because, you know, 50 square miles, it's like hard, when you come in way over there and something collapses, they need to get you out. You know, this is your last alternative, you know, to try to get you, you know, your way over to the 2 rescue shafts that they have. And they also had like, and there was a few others, but they closed them off. And they also have fan houses too. There's like I didn't bring you to it because they have it closed, and it's like, it's really not that much to look at. But anyways, just 2 big old fans, and they're like probably 20 feet round, and they blow air into the mine.
Pressurized
and they had
mine.
8 of them in this whole area.
Mama died.
And that's one of the
She
last
goes down
ones
there.
that's like still there. Yeah. Yeah. So did you ever go down by Ziggy's and down that way, and go into Beer Can Alley?
Oh, another one to climb on.
Right, where that concrete slab is on the ground.
Yeah.
If you come a little bit closer from back to it, you look on the right. There's the people look like they're driving over it. That's a mine shaft that used to go down, and that big old concrete is where another hole.
Oh, okay.
They blocked it off because it's down in the bottom where people can get to. You know?
Yep.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then you have that red brick building. See the red brick
Oh,
building?
yeah.
That was another fan house. That's what is it there? That's what
Okay.
that was.